Good morning again. So, I hope everybody slept well, or if it's the middle of the day for you, I hope your day is going well. I'm still getting used to daylight savings, where we spring forward 1 hour. So, my body is still adjusting. I'm still like, oh my gosh, I gotta get rid of the yawns. And I've been up for a little while too. So, again, we get to check in with the universe. So I think I've been sitting here for about the last 15 minutes, and I was thinking about something. And the other day, when doing tarot with a friend, something popped up that's popped up to me before. So they're reading my tarot. And the deck still had the instruction card in it. So instead of just being the tarot, the instruction card pops up. And this has happened to me in the past. And one of the things I always say is that there are no coincidences. We look for the omens. We look for the signs and symbols. We try not to ignore them. And it just reminded me. So when this happened to me in the past, what I did is I had to make a quick choice. Again, we can act like in life, it's like something pops up like that. We can be embarrassed. It's like, oh, I should have taken that out, blah, 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 blah. But I'd realized when I did that, here's this card that's not supposed to be in the deck. What is the universe saying? So I realized that I had my spread laid out. There is that instruction card and another card laid out. If I took that instruction card out when I first saw it, it would shift the entire universe to the left. It would shift all the cards and a new card would get laid down. So I had to make the decision, is that card there for a reason? And in my mind, it just clicked that I don't know what that card means, but the cards that follow it are the ones that I'm supposed to see. So life threw this blank card at me. Didn't know what it meant, but I did know that if I went against the universe, then everything was going to shift left. So I left that card there, and I just explained that it's like, I don't know what it means. It means that there's something there that we don't understand. But what about the cards around it? Maybe it's like a jigsaw puzzle. Until you put all the other pieces together, you can't see that whole. And so that's how we went at the reading, is that we put all the pieces of the jigsaw puzzle around it, and then we examined the whole. So I thought that was kind of interesting, and that just reminded me of that. So let's see what we have for today. What is the universe saying to us? So let's relax our necks. Let's relax our shoulders. Let's take a breath as we listen to the cards like they're the sounds of the ocean. Let's see what the universe has for us. Let's take a look at all the pieces around that missing jigsaw puzzle piece. Let's see if we can piece together and understand that missing piece just by looking at all the other pieces around it. Take that daily inventory, check in with the universe, see if there's anything see if there's a fuse just waiting to be lit. Maybe we can just defuse the situation before it even starts, because we're going to check in with ourselves, check in with the universe, look at any anxieties, anything like that. Maybe even look for all the positive things that we have to reflect on today. So let's fill in that blank space on the jigsaw puzzle. So I'm going to lay out my cards like I normally do. I'm going to do the 3 and 1. I'm going to turn each card over one at a time, like they're the pages of a book, so that I can think I know exactly where we're going until I turn over this last card, and it just changes everything. And that's kind of how life is. We think we know where everything's going, and then the next card that pops up, it's like, oh, well, that's not what I thought. We ready? Okay, talk about seeing things. So with the Justice card, this Justice is not blind. Doesn't have a blindfold or anything like that. This Justice is clear-sighted. It's got the scales to weigh. This is about seeing things clearly with our mind and not our heart, without the emotion to cloud what we're actually seeing. But the thing is that this morning, this card is reversed, which means, since we read reversals here, is that something's blocked. There's something right in front of us that we might not be seeing. Justice can also be about whether things are fair or not. If you read the books are like, you're going to go to court soon and I'm going to go blah, blah, blah. No, it's just about being clear-sighted, seeing. But let's see what we have here. So we have the 3 of coins. Threes are about growth. Coins are homework, finances, things like that. So maybe we are going into something not understanding, not seeing. Sometimes we want to plan. We want to make sure things are correct. And in this context, and like I said, I don't know what the rest of the card's going to say, but in this context, as I'm looking at this, maybe they're discussing, it's like, when you're working in stone, once that hammer hits the stone, you had better be clear-sighted in your vision. Otherwise, you're going to be making something, and it might be fine, but if we thought about it, how would it look? And then we have the Knight of Pentacles. So, the Knight of Pentacles. Knights are fire and energy. Knights are the ones that kings would send into battle because they charge in there. They're the younger ones. Sometimes they charge in there without thinking. They just go. And all the other horses in this particular deck are in a fast-moving pose. They're all 4 feet are not on the ground, but this is a workhorse. This right here is not a fast-charging horse. It's almost like something you'd put a plow behind. And then we have the knight here who is at rest. And he's just observing this pentacle. So the thing about this card, this knight is like a note taker. This knight is like somebody who's observing the fields, making sure everything's correct, taking their time, even though they are fire. Sometimes that's like, they can take too long taking notes sometimes. They can take too long with what they're doing. This card's reversed, which means they should be moving forward, but they're not. So when we look at these so far, what we have, now this is almost like a scale, because we see that starting a project without really examining it, and then things getting delayed, and yet we're still about to hit that hammer. So let's see what the advice card is. Okay. See what I'm talking about here? This is that Knight of Swords that I'm talking about. Look at him all fiery. Look at him jumping. He is ready to go. But swords are about thought. Swords are air. Okay? And knights are fire. So this is about taking the idea. So here we see the justices got their own sword as they're sitting still. And this knight is saying, you know what? Maybe we don't have a clear vision. Maybe we're not sure, because this person sure does look like they're hesitating. So there's a couple ways we can look at this, and that would be actually an interesting discussion to have in the comments, because here we see cards of delay. And we see in this context, I almost say that in this context, Pamela Coleman Smith's picture almost looks like hesitation. And yet here we have the Knight of Swords saying, do it. Because this is the advice card. Do it. Don't delay. Just start. So it's one of those things where perfect can be the enemy of good enough. And I think that's what this is saying. You know, it's like, sure, we don't have, you know, all the facts and everything. And this Knight of Pentacles sure does want to delay, doesn't he? Look at him. Yeah, well, I'm not sure. Let's keep taking notes. Let's make sure that let's examine this coin here a little bit longer. Because again, he's reversed. And this card, if it's the advice card, is do it. Do it. Take what you know, which is the sword, the air, thoughts. And again, I think today that the example with this, and again, there's a couple different ways to go with, but I really do think it's the old saying that perfect is the enemy of good enough. And all this delay up here is just stopping progress. You know? So when programming, it's like, yes, you would like to know 100% and have everything but you know what? If you delay long enough on a big project, you could have at least done the 90% you know, and then go back and fix the 10%. Debug, do what you need to do. But he who hesitates is lost. And that final word of perfect is the enemy of good enough. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Man, he is really all at it. And this guy's like, no, let us wait. Let us examine this coin for another 3 or 4 days. Are you sure you want me to hit this wall with a hammer? Today, we just need to do it. Do it, do it. So, that's it. That's me. That's my thought. Oh, man. So, thank you very, very much once again. And I am going to be here again tomorrow. And I appreciate the support that I'm getting so that it gives me the incentive to get up and keep doing this. So take care, and I will see you all tomorrow.